Hey guys, Simon here from Wild Earth, and today I'm here to talk to you about my new favourite bouldering shoe, the Evolv Shaman. Originally designed by the climbing legend himself, Chris Sharma, this shoe definitely does lend itself more towards steeper sport climbs and boulders, and that's why it has become my go-to bouldering gym shoe. So the original version of this shoe was a bit of a garish kind of blue and orange, which I was never a huge fan of. But the new update has a much nicer colourway, which is a bit more subtle and a bit more stylish in my opinion. The bright orange and blue has been replaced with this nice kind of white, black and yellow combination. There's also been a couple of other updates in the shoe as well, but it hasn't changed too much from its original. We've got a slightly deeper heel cup than in the previous iteration, and also a slightly thinner tongue, but that thinner tongue hasn't taken too much away from comfort. Apart from that, the Shaman has retained all of those features that really made it a great all-round performing and comfortable climbing shoe. As you can see, the shoe here is an aggressively turned down split sole shoe with a fully vegan upper. That downturn toe and split sole are going to make the shoe nice for hooking onto those smaller holds, especially on steeper climbs. The split sole is also going to give you the flexibility to really manipulate the shoe, making smearing and hooking onto things that little bit easier. Now, with a downturn shoe like this, you are often sacrificing comfort in return for performance. However, there are a few features of the Shaman here that do make this probably one of the most comfortable downturn shoes that I've personally ever tried. Those features are really up in the toe area of the shoe, and in the sole here we have a 1.6mm MXP half-length plastic midsole, and that creates what Evolv are calling the love bump. The love bump is essentially a divot in the bottom of the shoe that's going to land just behind the tip of your toes. That, combined with the knuckle box on top of the shoe, is going to help keep your toes in that kind of crimped power position that you want from a downturn shoe, while still giving enough room for your knuckles so they're not painfully pushed back into the top of the shoe. This has a couple of benefits when it comes to both performance and comfort. Firstly, the love bump and the knuckle box help keep your toes in that crimp position right at the front of the shoe without having to rely on a really tight heel cup pushing your toes forward. Secondly, it helps eliminate any dead space in the shoe as well as maintaining that downturn shape for longer. Having your toes in that power position with very little effort helps the shoe be better at edging as well as hooking onto holds on those steeper climbs. As for the rubber sole itself, this shoe boasts 4.2mm of Evolv's TRAX SAS Rubber, and that is a rubber that I've found gives great traction and a really great balance between stickiness and longevity. One complaint you do see about the Shaman is because of that thicker than average rubber on the toe and the heel, that it lacks a bit of sensitivity, which can make feeling really small holds on more technical routes quite challenging. However, I would argue that for most climbers, especially if you're someone that climbs in the gym quite a lot, the benefit of having the longevity of a thicker sole outweighs any loss of sensitivity. I know for me, having my shoes last longer is definitely a bonus. As for fit, I personally find Evolv's climbing shoes fit pretty accurately to my street shoe size. However, Evolv do recommend sizing up about half a size from street shoe, or a full size if you want a little bit of extra comfort. If you size up too much, you might find you end up having a little bit of dead space in the heel, but hopefully that love bump on the front there still keeps your toes where they should be. However, as always, I'd recommend trying on a pair before you buy them if you can, because giving recommendations on sizing based off of your street shoe size can be pretty tricky. I mean, it really depends on how you wear your street shoes. Evolv really has done a great job balancing performance and comfort with this shoe, and the 3-strap Velcro closure system on the top here makes the shoes a breeze to get on and off, which is super useful if you're having a big gym or a big boulder session and you want to be slipping the shoes off in between routes. I've found that out of the box these shoes have been tight but comfortable, and I've actually been able to wear them for relatively extended periods of time on the first couple of climbs. Now, there will probably be a little bit of stretch and movement over time in this shoe, but it's just a little bit, so I wouldn't be relying on that for any kind of movement in the shoe. Fit and comfort are obviously pretty subjective, so it will depend on your foot shape whether or not an Evolv shoe will work well for you. But that's it, the Evolv Shaman, a great all-round climbing shoe that really excels in indoor gym sessions, outdoor boulders, or on those steeper sport routes. So I would highly recommend checking these shoes out, and they genuinely have become one of my favourite go-to climbing shoes in the gyms or outdoor bouldering. But as always, if you do want more information on the Evolv Shaman or want to try a pair on, head on down to any Wild Earth store and the guys there will be more than happy to help you out.